It was a quiet night in the Ibarra home, with 5 kids fast asleep and everything seeming normal. But just after 1 a.m., that peace was shattered. 3 figures crept through the unlocked front door, and within moments, chaos broke out. Sounds of a struggle, muffled cries, and the start of something no one could have imagined. By morning, police arrived to find a disturbing scene. Samantha Wolford, the mother, was tied up and claimed strangers had broken in and taken her husband Ernie. But as investigators started asking questions, the story didn't quite add up. What really happened that night? And how did it turn into one of the most shocking stories the town had ever seen? Samantha was the eldest of 3 siblings born to a woman named Rossie Walford. The identity of her father remained undisclosed. Samantha and her siblings grew up in the peaceful town of Mount Pleasant, Texas. Those who knew Samantha described her as cheerful, friendly, and outgoing. From a young age, she exuded confidence and had a natural ability to connect with others, making friends with ease. She had a deep love for animals and once dreamed of becoming a veterinarian. However, she eventually abandoned that dream after realizing she couldn't handle the prospect of euthanizing sick pets. Another aspiration close to her heart was to become a mother and build a family. This desire came as no surprise to those who knew her when she became pregnant with her high school boyfriend, whose identity remains unknown. At the age of 19 in 2008, Samantha gave birth to twins. For a while, the father stayed with the family, and Samantha believed she had achieved one of her most cherished goals. However, their relationship ended abruptly, leaving Samantha to navigate life as a single mother. To provide for her children, she claimed to work multiple part-time jobs while attending college. Yet, a close friend later revealed that Samantha primarily relied on food stamps and limited social assistance for her twins. Her life took an unexpected turn that same year when she met a young man named Ernie. Accounts differ on how they met. Some say it was through social media, others claim mutual friends introduced them. But the most common story is that they crossed paths at a tattoo shop, sharing a passion for body art. Regardless of the circumstances, Ernie quickly became a source of support for Samantha, helping her heal from the heartbreak of her past relationship. Ernie was born on December 25, 1985, in Mount Pleasant, Texas. The second of 3 children, he was raised in a close-knit family alongside his siblings, Jimmy, Tiffany, and Abigail. Known for his intelligence and kindness, Ernie had a knack for helping others. During high school, he developed a strong interest in computers and became skilled at both gaming and repairing hardware. After graduating in 2004, he pursued carpentry and later worked as a machine operator at a wooden bat manufacturing company. When he met Samantha, his warm personality and shared interests made them inseparable. Their relationship progressed quickly, and Ernie embraced Samantha's twins as his own when the couple began living together. By 2011, they were surprised to learn Samantha was expecting twins again. That same year, they welcomed their children, Jared and Kelly. Now a big family, Ernie took on the responsibility of supporting everyone, working at a pizzeria in addition to his factory job. Friends and family noted that Ernie seemed genuinely happy despite the challenges, as he deeply loved Samantha and the children. However, financial strain soon began to take its toll. Samantha, feeling stuck and unable to move forward, decided to pursue a long-held dream of becoming an actress and internet personality. With hopes of supplementing their income, she launched a YouTube channel called Simple Manic. On the channel, she shared her passions, daily struggles as a mother of four, and details about her relationship with Ernie, whom she described as abusive, a claim his family vehemently denied. According to Ernie's relatives, he disliked the spotlight and preferred to keep his private life off the internet. They believe Samantha's growing obsession with fame caused her to neglect her children and put the family second. Despite her efforts, Samantha struggled to grow her audience. Her videos rarely reached 100 views, and her dream of internet stardom seemed out of reach. The once happy family found itself fractured, their idyllic life slipping further away with every passing day. In a bid to draw more viewers to her YouTube channel, Samantha introduced graphics and began featuring guests in her videos. However, none of these changes succeeded in capturing a larger audience. She continued to use her platform to complain about her life, frequently labeling Ernie as lazy and unhelpful. In one video, she admitted that she had a pattern of falling for losers, but also confessed that she loved Ernie because he was the father of her children. Samantha went further by alleging that Ernie was an irresponsible father who had been incarcerated. According to her, Ernie had an altercation with a police officer over traffic violations, which escalated, leading to an assault charge. Reports confirmed that Ernie spent nearly a year in jail. His friends and family claimed that his time in prison had matured him, and upon his release, he was determined to do whatever it took to keep his family together. Despite his efforts, Samantha remained focused on her channel, often exaggerating her achievements to appear more successful. She even claimed to have acted in a film starring Gerard Butler, although it was later revealed that her only acting credit was as an uncredited extra in a low-budget zombie movie filmed in Texas. Desperate to attract more views, Samantha began involving her children in her videos, hoping to gain sympathy and attention. Yet her channel continued to flounder, much like her relationship with Ernie. He grew increasingly frustrated with her constant phone use and her habit of sharing intimate family details online. The breaking point came in 2013 when Samantha posted a video of one of their children dancing in the front seat of a moving car while she was driving. Ernie, outraged by her recklessness, decided he'd had enough and left her. That same year, Samantha suffered a serious injury in a well-known department store. While attending to one of her children, a diaper-changing station broke, hitting her back and neck. Samantha saw this as an opportunity to gain sympathy and began posting videos discussing her injuries and their impact on her life. She claimed to suffer from severe migraines and chronic pain, which required frequent visits to a chiropractor. In one video, she stated that her doctor had recommended strict bed rest and warned that without proper help, she risked a mental breakdown. Despite their separation, Ernie returned home to help Samantha and the children. Shortly after, Samantha became pregnant with their fifth child. Instead of bringing the family closer, the news added more strain to their already fragile relationship. While Ernie was excited about the new baby, he was also overwhelmed from working multiple jobs to support the family. Samantha, on the other hand, continued to complain in her videos that she had no help, despite Ernie's sister, Abby, moving in temporarily to assist. During her pregnancy, Samantha's online activity dwindled significantly. She posted only a few videos about her experience as a mother of 5. However, the arguments between her and Ernie persisted. Samantha resented Ernie's love for video games, especially when his online avatar married the character of another player, a situation that fueled her frustration. Ernie, in turn, disliked Samantha's obsession with her phone, which he felt led her to neglect their home and children. In 2014, in an attempt to mend their relationship, Ernie proposed to Samantha, and the couple tied the knot in a small private ceremony. While the wedding brought temporary harmony, their underlying issues quickly resurfaced. Samantha later confided in Abby that she and Ernie had a heated argument the previous night over his supposed laziness. According to Samantha, Ernie became so angry that he physically assaulted her, even showing Abby bruises as evidence. Abby, shocked and skeptical, found it hard to reconcile Samantha's claims with her brother's usually mild-mannered nature. When Abby shared the story with other family members, they too doubted Samantha's account, believing it to be a misunderstanding. Despite the family's disbelief, Samantha continued to paint Ernie as an abusive partner, escalating her narrative to further tarnish his reputation. Samantha frequently told acquaintances about the alleged abuse she and her children endured at the hands of her husband Ernie. According to court records, she eventually called 911 to report that Ernie had attacked her. When police arrived at their residence, they arrested Ernie for domestic violence. Though no evidence supported the claims, he was released after a short detention, but an emergency protective order was issued against him. Ernie's family insisted that Samantha's accusations were fabricated, pointing out that while Ernie wasn't a perfect husband, he had always been a loving father and was not known for violent tendencies. Despite the marital troubles, no one could have foreseen the horrifying events about to unfold. In the early hours of February 20th, 2015, Samantha's mother received a frantic call from her daughter. Samantha claimed intruders had broken into her home, tied her up, and abducted Ernie. Alarmed, she immediately contacted her sister, Ginger Kirsten, who lived nearby, and asked her to check on Samantha. Ginger rushed to the house and found the front door ajar. Upstairs, in the master bedroom, she discovered Samantha bound hand and foot. After freeing her niece, Ginger questioned Samantha about what had happened, then checked on the children, who were all asleep in another room. It struck her as strange that none of the kids had woken up despite Samantha's claim of screaming for help. Shortly afterward, police officers arrived. They surveyed the scene, noting the broken entryway and signs of a struggle inside the home. Small blood spatters and a tuft of hair were found near the door. Oddly, nothing valuable appeared to be missing. Samantha explained the events to the police, describing the intruders as 3 or 4 individuals dressed in loose black clothing and wearing masks. She claimed they had weapons, one of them carrying a pistol. According to her account, the intruders dragged Ernie downstairs while hitting him with a gun and threatened to harm her as well. She alleged they tore off her clothes and threatened sexual violence, forcing Ernie to watch as they taunted him. Samantha said the assailants eventually tied her up, gagged her, and left her in the bedroom. When asked how she managed to call for help, Samantha said she used her nose to dial her mother's number. Investigators were skeptical of her story. The evidence didn't align with a typical robbery. Nothing was stolen, and the door's lock was intact, suggesting it had been open when forced. Additionally, the items Samantha claimed the intruders used to restrain her, such as a pink ribbon and a nightgown, were nowhere to be found. Samantha mentioned that the attackers had taken Ernie's phone, prompting detectives to contact the phone company for a trace. They located a signal in Pittsburgh, Texas, but the device was turned off shortly afterward, preventing them from pinpointing the exact location. During their investigation, detectives uncovered Ernie's prior domestic violence arrest and the protective order against him. However, when they brought it up with Samantha, she downplayed the issue, insisting they had since repaired their relationship. Samantha's shifting narratives further fueled suspicion. She initially claimed ignorance about Ernie's whereabouts, but later suggested that his father, allegedly involved in drugs, might have orchestrated the incident. The turning point came on the morning of February 21st, when investigators informed Samantha that they had obtained a warrant to search her phone. They pressed her about events leading up to Ernie's disappearance. Realizing the police didn't believe her story, Samantha admitted to visiting a friend in the hospital on February 19th, where she had spoken about the alleged abuse she faced. She claimed that her friend's boyfriend, Johnny, overheard the conversation and offered to take care of Ernie with the help of his brother-in-law. Samantha insisted she hadn't taken his words seriously and provided his name, though she claimed she didn't know him well, having only met him at the hospital. Detectives, now suspecting a conspiracy, decided to bring Samantha in for further questioning to uncover the truth about Ernie's disappearance. Authorities soon identified the suspect as 25-year-old Jonathan Sanford, a man recently released from jail following allegations of sexually assaulting a cousin. During his school years, Jonathan had earned a reputation as a bully, showing no remorse for his misdeeds. While interrogating Samantha, she revealed that Jonathan had messaged her after their encounter at the hospital. Detectives rushed to the hospital to apprehend him before he could flee. Alongside Jonathan, they also detained his brother-in-law, 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ponce. Both men were charged with aggravated kidnapping and the murder of 29-year-old Ernie Ibarra. Jonathan later admitted that he met Samantha before the hospital visit through his girlfriend, who had recently given birth to their child. According to him, Samantha had spoken about the alleged abuse she suffered, prompting him to offer protection for her and her children. Jonathan enlisted his friend Octavius Lamar Rhymes, a 28-year-old former soldier and methamphetamine addict, to help execute a plan to get rid of Ernie. Initially, they intended to plant drugs in Ernie's truck and call the police to have him arrested. However, court documents reveal that on the night of February 19th, their plans took a sinister turn. The trio, joined by Samantha and her children, drove in her vehicle to a relative of Octavius to purchase methamphetamine. Sometime during the night, the men decided it would be easier to kill Ernie than execute their original plan. Jose reportedly told Samantha that he could take care of her husband. Samantha asked if they were serious, and the men replied that they would stick to the drug planting scheme if the door was locked, but would proceed with the murder if it was left unlocked. The chilling details of their plan were discussed in front of Samantha's 5 children. Later that evening, after consuming the drugs they had purchased, the group stopped at a department store to buy food before returning to Samantha's home. Samantha then sedated her children to ensure they wouldn't wake up during the night. Unaware of the plot, Ernie was finishing his shift at the pizzeria. He called Samantha multiple times, but she didn't answer. After work, he drove home, went to bed, and fell asleep, oblivious to the danger awaiting him. Around 1 a.m., the trio arrived and, finding the door unlocked, proceeded with their second plan. They stormed in, mercilessly beating Ernie. Samantha played along, feigning terror as they attacked her husband. The men dragged Ernie, dressed only in his underwear, to the car, while Samantha called her mother with the fabricated story about intruders. To make her account seem more credible, her accomplices tied and gagged her before leaving. The men drove Ernie to a remote wooded area. Their initial plan was to slit his throat to avoid making noise, but an impatient Jose shot Ernie in the back of the head instead. Jonathan later admitted he was shocked by Jose's actions, but checked Ernie's body to confirm he was dead before they left the scene. After Jonathan confessed to the crime, he led police to the site where Ernie's body was dumped. With this information and confirmation of Samantha's involvement, detectives confronted her. Still pretending to be a grieving wife, Samantha was arrested after they revealed they knew everything. Despite her claims of innocence, no one believed her. Authorities also apprehended Octavius, charging him with the same crimes as Jonathan and Jose. The investigation progressed quickly, with authorities gathering substantial evidence against the suspects. Among the key findings was a shell casing recovered near Ernie's body, which matched a firearm found in Octavius's home. Additionally, communications between Samantha and the other suspects revealed her involvement. For instance, when detectives asked Samantha to surrender her phone, she claimed she needed to message her mother, but instead texted Jonathan, instructing him to dispose of Ernie's phone. Although Samantha insisted she had only met Jonathan at the hospital, surveillance footage from a department store showed the two entering together with her 5 children before the murder. The connection was further confirmed by Jonathan's girlfriend, who revealed that Jonathan had babysat Samantha's children on multiple occasions, shocking investigators given his history of abuse. In April 2016, Jonathan Sanford and Jose Ponce pleaded guilty to all charges. Their testimonies detailed Samantha's role in orchestrating the plot, sealing her fate. Each of the perpetrators received sentences of 50 years for each charge, to be served concurrently. According to the court's ruling, neither Jonathan Sanford nor Jose Ponce will be eligible for parole until they have served at least half of their sentence, which amounts to 25 years. Octavius faced his first trial in June 2016, during which he was sentenced to 23 years in prison for aggravated kidnapping. In December of the same year, he was found guilty of murder and received an additional 75-year sentence to be served consecutively with his previous sentence, bringing his total to 98 years. As for Samantha, she was first tried for the aggravated kidnapping of her husband. She was found guilty and sentenced to 50 years in prison for that crime. In September 2017, she faced a second trial for murder. Convicted once again, Samantha was sentenced to 99 years in prison, to be served consecutively with her prior 50-year sentence. This means she will spend the rest of her life behind bars. The motives behind Samantha's actions remain unclear, though multiple theories have been proposed. One theory suggests that after her injury at the department store, Samantha reached a settlement and anticipated receiving a significant amount of money. Divorces, being time-consuming, may have prompted her to seek a quicker resolution to her marriage to avoid splitting the settlement with Ernie. Allegedly, she promised the 3 men who carried out the crime a share of the money as payment for their involvement. Another theory speculates that Samantha sought notoriety as a grieving widow left to care for 5 children alone. Supporters of this hypothesis argue that her obsession with fame drove her to orchestrate the crime, believing that portraying herself as the victim of a heinous tragedy would garner public sympathy and attention. In one of her videos, Samantha once remarked that what psychopaths want most is to be remembered. However, police and Ernie's family believe the true motive was that Samantha discovered Ernie planned to file for divorce and seek full custody of their children. After the tragedy, the children were placed under the care of their paternal relatives. Regardless of her reasons, Samantha made the calculated decision to conspire in the murder of her children's father, ensuring they would grow up not only without him but also without her, as she now faces life imprisonment. In the end, Samantha achieved the notoriety she had long sought, but for all the wrong reasons. Now that you know the details of this chilling case, what do you think? Why did Samantha choose murder over separation? Do you agree with the sentences handed down? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for tuning in to Unreal True Crime. If you're intrigued by mysteries from around the world, check out our new channel, Latin Crimes, where we dive into the gripping true crime stories of Latin America. Don't miss out. Subscribe now for more thrilling investigations.